The head of a coalition calling for electoral reforms in Malaysia says she has no intentions of standing in the next general election.
Ms. Ambiga Srinivasan says she has no stomach for Malaysian politics. Now, Ms. Ambiga, who led the Bersih 2.0 mass rally in Kuala Lumpur over the weekend, is also calling for a royal investigation into the electoral system.
Now, she says the commission of inquiry should include experts acceptable to the people. Ms. Ambiga also promised not to hold street rallies or take part in opposition rallies in the immediate future.
Authorities had declared the Saturday demonstration illegal. Police used tear gas and water cannons and arrested more than 1,600 people to break up the protests.
Prime Minister Najib Razak later defended the clampdown on the demonstration, saying the rally would not have been peaceful if police had not monitored it. He also said the government favored clean elections and that democratic principles would be defended.
And joining us in studio for a discussion on the political scene in Malaysia is Nurul Izzah Anwar, Vice President of a Malaysian opposition party, Parti Keadilan Rakyat, or PKR. Now, thank you very much, Izzah, for joining us this evening. Well, first up, Bersih has suggested that a royal investigation be conducted into the electoral system, the electoral reform. What are your thoughts on involving the king?
Well, first and foremost, the People's Justice Party, Pakatan Rakyat as a whole, have the highest respect for the king, and we remain grateful for him, to grant an audience with Bersih representatives, as well as to consenting for us to have the rally in the stadium in the first place. And I feel that it's quite unfortunate, really, that the rally had turned out in this manner, with severe clampdown by the police under instructions of the Prime Minister and the Minister of Home Affairs.
All right, maybe we'll get your reaction to this, since we knew you were coming. We asked people on Facebook to ask questions. And Ahmad Nazari here saying that in some quarters they're saying the opposition parties use Bersih's protest to their benefit. How do you react to this?
I think, it's a bit ridiculous to assume that 62 non-governmental organizations, which is the coalition for Bersih, are pawns or mere puppets to this initiative. In fact, they were the ones that were responsible for spearheading and managing to capture the imaginations of Malaysians, those who never actually participated in rallies. And what we did was, as opposition, was support this initiative. We have a right to demand for free and fair elections. And I think if you look at asking for a royal probe, certainly you want the electoral system, you want to at least introduce indelible ink. You want to make sure there's a minimum 21 days of campaigning period. I mean, all these things will certainly help and assist the Barisan Nasional government, because if the people really choose to vote for them, then they'll benefit from it.
Okay, well, following up, the king did say that he would have, instead wanted the issues to be resolved through dialogue. But, Bersih did go ahead with the rally, as we saw there on Saturday. Do you think then that the rally actually went against what the king said?
I think it's important to look at the point. The Bersih president, the chairperson of Bersih, actually had a dialogue with the Inspector General of Police, had a dialogue with an audience was granted with the king, and unfortunately could not get an appointment with the Prime Minister. And the real question that should be asked is, despite the king's consent of allowing us to have the rally at the stadium, why did the Prime Minister and the Minister of Home Affairs, backtrack on their promise? That should be the real question asked. And I think, we talk about having that consent, going through the process. We compromised. They renegated on their promise.
Okay, Izzah, let's go back to the electoral reforms that were being asked for. This will also mean no more mudslinging in Malaysian politics. Do you think Malaysian politicians are ready for this? Is the PKR willing to not engage in mudslinging in the next round of elections?
Political mudslinging is unacceptable, regardless if it's done by the opposition or by the government. And I think what is most worrying or most saddening in Malaysia's case is when the mainstream media is being co-opted to participate in vilifying and politically assassinating leaders. And I think at the end of the day, I completely agree with you, and we are more than willing to work together to ensure the media survives and is realized as the fourth estate. And we do away with any form of political mudslinging.
Okay, so what does Keadilan have in store for the coming general elections then?
Oh, I think what we're offering actually is the politics of inclusiveness for all Malaysians to actually realize the potential regardless of their race. You know, Malaysia for more than 50 years, we've been really rather sick of this ethnic-based political development or even economic development. And I think it's time for a change. And we are willing to enact and implement political as well as social and economic reforms to realize these dreams. And I think this is an exciting time indeed, especially for me. I consider myself a young politician, and you know, we're really offering Malaysians, you know, to work together. We cannot do this alone.
What about the state of the opposition in Malaysia? How confident is the opposition in gaining ground in the next round of elections?
We have gained, of course, momentum, you know, after Bersih 2.0 led the successful rally. However, at the end of the day, we must make sure the demands for electoral reforms are met, because it's the day of the elections that will secure a win or a success for anyone. And if there's fraud, there's rigging, then no matter how much support we supposedly have garnered among the electorates, it will amount to nothing.
Thank you very much, Izzah, for
Thank
your
you for
thoughts.
having me.
And we've been speaking to Nurul Izzah Anwar, Vice President of Malaysian Opposition Party, Parti Keadilan Rakyat.